Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Carrie Radloff, CEO of Synergy Financial Resources. Thanks for joining me, Carrie.
Thank you so much for having me, Jesse.
It's great to have you on the program. I think it's a long time overdue, so I apologize for that.
We've been talking about
But
it for a long time.
we have. However, my mind, I see squirrels. I think on a
Me too.
hourly basis. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to actually get this coordinated, especially in time for the holidays. So you get the nice little village
Yeah, I
behind
really like your
you.
villages. It looks really nice.
Yeah, my daughter did a good job starting off. I mean, Rory's almost 8. They start really well, but she's like too much of a perfectionist, so I had to order more snow and like
And there
80%
you
of the way.
have it. It looks
It's
very nice,
80% of the way.
very festive.
Well, excellent, Carrie. Well, thanks again for your time. And do you mind, for those people who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, just kind of introducing yourself and your career to date in equipment finance?
Yeah, so my name is Carrie Radloff, and I am CEO of Synergy Financial Resources. I started my career at Manifest as a funder and transitioned into being a broker from there. I've been a broker now for almost 20 years, and I've been very active in the industry through associations, AACFB, NEFA, the CLFP Foundation. And absolutely, I'm so glad I accidentally fell into this industry like most of us.
Yeah, it's a question I like to ask people. It's like, why equipment finance? Did you get Schwann's back in the day and you sat there and was like, Lion
Yeah.
Financial, let's rock and roll?
Yeah, pretty much. I actually went to college, and my goal in life was to be a CPA and be in public accounting. And that was kind of the road I was going down. But when I was a senior in college, my good friend and my roommate, who happens to be Tina Cartwright, I don't know if you know Tina from US Bank. So Tina and I were
Mhm.
roommates, and she's like,
Okay.
she was working at Manifest, and she's like, this place is great, the culture, the people. She loved it, and she suggested that I try it out. So I went to work for Manifest. I was part-time while going to college. And so I would set up the applications, all done manually at that time. And I called the bank and trades. So that's kind of how I started my career. And then once I graduated from college, I ended up staying within the credit team. Was in the credit department for 7 years. Worked my way up to credit manager in the Western United States, and did that for a couple of years, and then decided I wanted to try the sales side. So I moved over to the sales on the Western United States. So I was a regional sales rep there, and stayed there for 10 years, and absolutely loved it. Best people ever, best customers. It was so fun. I loved being a funding source. But in 2008, a lot of things happened, as you remember, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
things were changing, and so I decided I needed a change, and ended up going to work for American Financial Partners as a broker. It was quite a change.
Any regrets on not going the CPA route?
No,
So
no,
I was looking forward, like,
no, no. I do really appreciate my accounting background. It's really helped
sure,
me in the industry,
absolutely.
and especially on the CLFP test. But no, I don't. I'm so happy that I took the route that I did. I absolutely love this industry. I love what I do. And I don't think that I would have liked the CPA side of it as much. So,
Hey, sorry to the CPAs out there, not for me.
yeah,
Not for me.
yeah,
Sorry, not for me.
exactly.
And then when you were working at US Bank, was that up in Marshall?
It was.
Okay. And then how are you in you're in South Dakota right now though, right?
Well, Synergy is headquartered in South Dakota, but most of our employees live in Minnesota. We're
Oh,
right on
okay.
the border of South Dakota and Minnesota. And so I
Okay.
actually live in Minnesota. I've always lived in Minnesota.
Well, shame on me for not knowing that, but
That's
that's
okay. I'll take South Dakota too.
what the interview's for, right?
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Do you mind introducing Synergy?
Absolutely. So Synergy Financial was created the end of 2024. The owner of Synergy is Emily Zwak, and she previously was co-owner of American Financial Partners. There was a split in ownership there, and Emily got bought out and created Synergy Financial and started that in November of 2024. Um, I came over to Synergy in February of 2025, me and a couple of my teammates. And since then, we've hired another sales rep, a college student who graduated. We've had a couple more people from our previous team join us in fall. So there's 7 of us now. So we're growing and having fun and just really enjoying being a team again.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
And then is everyone kind of like in Minnesota, like you said, Minnesota, South Dakota?
Yes.
Is there a home for people, like headquarters?
Yep, our headquarters is in Del Rapids, South Dakota, which is where Emily
Okay.
lives.
Okay.
And then most of us work from our home offices. Actually, all the rest of us live in Minnesota and work from our homes in Minnesota. But yeah,
Not
we get
too
together
far
at
away.
headquarters once a month at least.
Okay, that was gonna be my question because obviously the biggest part of any organization is your culture, right? And while you guys
Yeah,
worked with, sounds like majority of you guys worked with each other before, so it's not like you had
right.
to introduce people. But if you're bringing on a college student and everything else, I'm sure
Yeah,
they don't want to be home
yeah,
alone going like this the
that's
whole
been
time.
difficult, just doing everything through Zoom and phone calls and but it's going well.
Good, good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, how far of a drive is that?
I'm only half an hour from Del Rapids.
Oh, all right.
So not bad. Which
That's
which where I live is 30 miles.
depending on traffic or depending on
There is
snow,
no
I guess.
traffic where I
I mean,
live.
depending on the white stuff, um,
Yeah.
situational. 30
Right.
minutes
Yes.
could
If
be
we
an
have
hour.
bad weather, yes, that could slow you down a little bit. But traffic does not.
No, yeah, I was gonna say traffic. It's not a four-letter word in South Dakota. In
No,
Minneapolis,
I live in a small
yes.
town.
Near the Twin Cities, yeah, it gets a little bit more challenging up there for sure.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
small town girl. I like small towns. I like not a lot of traffic, wide open spaces. I like to visit the big cities, but I like to come home to a small community.
Sure. That's why we built a house in Queen Creek, and it seems like everyone else followed us out here. So now it's like,
Oh, sure.
go away, go away. Arizona's cold this time of year.
Yeah, yeah.
Not so much. Um, so basically, almost a year for the organization, a year that you've been there.
Yeah.
What's the startup life like? I mean, however, if you guys are majority of your team members are there, it's almost like you probably didn't skip a beat. But
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
I mean, in this industry, I'm sure when people look, I mean, I know when I looked up some of the information, and everything else, I was like, synergy, okay. Looking forward to learning more about that. How has that been, Carrie, in regards to when you attended like conferences and stuff last year as a basically a new venture?
Yeah. So it's a ton of work starting up a new business. Back to kind of when I started becoming a broker, I put in a ton of hours just banging the phones and doing all of that. And it's kind of the same here. You're restarting and setting up your systems and setting up all your funding sources. And the funding sources have been amazing. And almost all of them have set us up based on our experience and just knowing us in the industry. So that's been great. And we're just working really hard and trying to redevelop that database, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, basically back to square one, and
Yeah,
I'm sure you wore several hats before, but
yeah,
obviously you bring on more hats.
right. Yes, there's lots of hats in a small company, and you wear a lot of them. Yeah,
And then, when you back in 2008 transitioning from Manifest to AFP, I guess going from funder to broker,
yeah,
it happens both ways. And when I see either people going broker to funder or funder to broker, I like to ask what that experience is like. But if you were at Manifest calling on these funding relationships, I'm sure that made the transition that much easier because those were the people that you're probably still
yeah,
calling on. But let's talk
yeah,
about that if you don't mind, because U.S. Bank's massive organization still,
yeah.
and they have a guy for that, they have a girl for that. Um, and you're
Exactly.
with yourself, and now you're the guy and gal for everything.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was quite a transition. I mean, I went from a huge company like US Bank, doing just sales into a broker role where you have to really know a little bit of everything. It's also very different calling on vendors, which was my what I decided to go after, calling on vendors versus calling on funding relationships or
Oh
brokers.
yeah, yeah,
It,
completely
it's
different
it
animal.
was
You
a
wouldn't think
lot
it.
harder than I
You would.
expected.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think, yeah, it's sales. I know this person, know that
Uh-huh.
person, but yeah, the vendor space. I'm not even that familiar with the vendor space.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's hard. It's a numbers game. You have to be motivated and you have to make the calls and figure out what works for you. And then I did, I was able to develop some of those vendor relationships, and then you just kind of build off of that. And I would say now, I still have a lot of vendor relationships that I've had for 10 or 15 years. Um, Relationships are really big for me, and that's kind of the type of salesperson that I am. And so I still have vendor relationships from 2008, the first year I got into this business and started calling on vendors. So I think that's really cool, to have a vendor, long-term relationship like that. Um, but it was hard. And now I get a lot of business just through referrals, vendors referring me to other vendors and some of those, and then obviously the customers that we're funding for those vendors.
yeah, I mean, you can't beat a good referral. And if you've had clients for 17 years, you've obviously gone through. I'm sure there's been multiple different contacts at those organizations throughout the years
Yeah.
that you're like, oh, I was so friendly with Mary, and now Mary's not there anymore. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
how do you reestablish yourself there? So
Yep.
kudos to you. I mean, I don't think a lot of salespeople really think about that. Uh, that's a definitely a learned skill that you have to keep up
Yeah,
with on a regular
absolutely.
basis. It's not just going to keep coming.
And have relationships at all levels within that vendor's organization. Know everyone there.
Right. From I guess, a sales question, do you like to be on site with people, and how frequently do you like to be like go to the vendors' locations?
I love to do that. I don't do that real frequently. I would say my bigger vendors, I probably see one or two times a year.
Okay.
I like to attend trade shows with them, so I
Okay.
do go to trade shows and support them at trade shows. Um, One of my local vendors, they have a bunch of shows regionally throughout here. For a 3 week span, they have a show every day for 3 weeks during the week. So I typically try to go to all of those to support them. Yeah, it gets to be a lot, but I love it. I love seeing the
Sure.
people and meeting them, and that's really how you secure those relationships and grow those partnerships and have those relationships. So
Absolutely, especially if they have a piece of equipment right there, and someone's like, I
yeah,
really want this. Can I get it now? And they bring you
yeah,
over, and you figure out a way to get it done. That's
yeah. And it's neat
that's
to learn
excellent.
about their equipment too. You can see what it
Yep.
does and what it's
Yeah.
called, and just having that knowledge helps you sell, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to Construction Expo or if you go there every 3 years, but I walk around that freaking place in Vegas, and it's like, what does this do? What does that do? And it's just
Yeah.
amazing, the types of
And
specialized
constantly
machinery.
changing. Yeah, all
Yes.
the robotic equipment now that's out there is just insane.
And the technology aspect of it, like how does
Yes.
it sync up to, yeah, yeah, data, AI, all these
Yeah.
lovely things, right?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And yeah, sales is it's unique, but I've definitely seen you in the room over the last, I mean, my 20 years in equipment finance, and you can definitely tell you're very relationship driven, and that
Yeah.
goes a long way, and it helps exponentially, especially when you guys are at a brand new organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I've been very active within the industry, and that certainly helped us as we were getting going. Just knowing, who to reach out to from a sales platform or technology platform, and who can help you set this up. And I have a lot of friends in the industry, and they were incredibly helpful in giving us advice and feedback and helping us get things set up. So, I think it's so important to be involved in the industry, no matter what what industry that is, or what industry association that is, whether you're AACFB or NIFA or ELFA or whatever that is. It's so important to be involved. I mean, the people that you meet and how they help you grow your business, it's second to none.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you meet all those people where it goes into our next topic of conversation. I was going to go into kind of, the trade associations and kind of what they've meant to, to your career to date so far. So I typically
Yeah,
see you more at the AACFB conferences, which makes sense.
sure.
And I want to
Yep.
say, are you on the board or are you a past board member?
I'm a past board member. Yeah, so
Okay.
I was president of AACFB in I think 21, 22. And then you stay for a year after you're president as past president, and then I've been off since then. But I still stay active with that association. I credit that association to um, helping me grow as an
Well,
industry salesperson and the people, like I said, the friendships that I've met and the people that I've met most of my funding partners there. That's where you really do business, where you grow that relationship and how do we do more business together and decide who you want to do business with, who's going to be a fit for you.
absolutely. And the sense of credibility when you have that, and then not this take away from the AACFB, Monica and her team have done a great job, and the board,
Yeah,
EF Care's perspective, they've been a great partner of ours,
awesome.
since for the last couple of years, and we're excited for that continued partnership. But
Yeah,
also, you have the CLFP designation behind your name too. That
yeah.
kind of brings kind of an instant credibility. However, when you got that, it probably wasn't as, I guess, almost prominent as it is today when you take a look at what
Yeah, the
Reed and
CLFP
Melissa have done.
Foundation has really grown. Reed and Mel and Sandy, the team, they've just done an amazing job. And I got asked to be part of the board. I'm the AACFB delegate for the CLFP board, and I've been on that board for a couple of years now.
Okay.
And it's amazing to me to look through those numbers and everything that the CLFP's accomplished. I mean, I don't understand how some people in the industry decide not to take that when it's out there. It's just, have you taken it yet, Jesse?
I have not. I have not.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
I have not.
We're gonna have to get you on
I
that.
have a. Oh, yeah.
No,
Uh,
it was a great experience. That I did an in-person class, actually
I
down
think
at
I, I think I
Great
think Reed would
America.
fail. I think Reed would fail me just because, and I really don't blame her.
Well, but she
You
can't.
know,
She doesn't even know it's you.
she will know. She will know.
She'll find a way. Yeah.
She'll find out.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's some like trigger words where if it's Jesse Johnson,
Right.
he gets a notification and hits a
Yeah.
button. Done.
Yeah. Funny. No, it's
I don't
great.
blame
I've really enjoyed it. The board and the team there is just phenomenal and they just do so much for the industry.
her. And then will you guys be coming back out to Arizona for planning early next year?
Yeah. January.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, January we're coming out.
Figure out when that is and go and find a way to harass Reed for
Yeah,
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think the other trade association I've probably seen you at, obviously more ACFB, but NIFA.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
guys members of NEFA too?
Yes, we are. And I just saw you in Minneapolis, I think at
That's
their
right. That
conference.
was,
Yeah.
I think that was week like 4 of 7 in a row of traveling. So
Yeah.
at some point when
Gets
you're
to be a
like
lot.
21 days in a row of those trade shows, you're just kind of on autopilot.
Yeah, absolutely. It gets to be a lot. No, it was a great conference. I always get so much out of any of those conferences. They're great to attend.
And I guess if there's other brokers or new people in the industry that aren't a part of any trade association, what advice would you have for them, Carrie?
Starting up a brokerage is hard enough when you have all that support behind you. I don't know how people do it without that support. I really don't, because within these associations, you have tons of mentors who are going to help you, give you advice, and help you grow. You have all the funding partners that you get to meet and develop relationships with. The education side of it, where whatever you're looking to learn for your business, I always get something out of that. I've been in this almost like you said, almost 28 years, not 30 quite yet, Jesse. But
That was before I hit record. Okay, that was before. I wasn't going to mention it.
yeah. But every time I go, I always learn something. I have pages of notes that I bring home, and they're just great. And I just feel like people that are involved in those typically end up being more successful.
I would agree 100%. It's not just about paying a membership, and showing up and having a drink at the bar.
Right.
You get in what you get out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Agree.
I think you're a good example of that. Being on boards. I mean, yeah, it's more work.
Yeah.
Plus, you're
Yeah.
can't really say 9 to 5 because let's be real, no one works 9 to 5 ever.
Yeah. 9 to 5. I don't think I've ever worked 9 to 5.
9 Eastern to
Yeah.
5 Pacific time. Yeah, that
Right. Right.
sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Like, that sounds better.
But what people also
Um,
don't realize is your elbows, elbow to elbow with other people that are volunteering as well. And
yeah.
it's all about who you know and the network.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, when I have something come up in my business and I don't know what to do, I have so many people that I can reach out to across the country and be like, "Have you ran into this? And what'd you do? And what do you recommend?" And it's just so great to have that network.
Sure, 100%. I mean, and you can kill so many birds with one stone when you're at these locations because there's always 100, 200 plus people,
Yeah,
at these events. So
yeah,
just after 3 or 4 days, you're like, okay, I need to
yeah.
liver needs a rest, and I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go
exactly.
hide
It's
for
so
a little
fun to
bit.
see people. I see the people that I grew up with at Manifest at these events who maybe I don't talk to regularly, and all the people you've met through the years. And again, I'm a big relationship person, so I love to see my friends um, and have fun at those conferences too.
And then I guess from a like an industry relationship perspective,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, some of my closest friends that I have in my personal life are also on the business side.
Sure.
And I think that's with a lot of us that have been in the industry, for a couple decades, even less than a decade, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Have you kind of found that too? Were these industry relationships, Carrie, and kind of what they've meant to your career?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When something happens in my life, I hear from a lot of my industry friends, and same vice versa. So I think when you spend that much time with someone and you have the same background and just energy, you're going to end up having them as friends outside of work as well.
Great minds think alike. Surround
Yeah,
yourself with people, someone similar. So yeah.
exactly.
I ask, and then the other question I have for you is, what advice would you give somebody who's just getting into this industry?
The advice is I would figure out what business you want to do. Are there specific industries? Do you want to call in vendors? Do you want to call in end users? What does that look like? And I would always pick something that you enjoy. If you have a hobby or you know about specific equipment or like for me, my dad used to run a service station, so I did automotive. Whatever you know
Huh,
and whatever your background is, look at doing something like that you understand, and then you have to get involved with an association. Um, you're going to meet all your funding sources. You're going to learn the education behind that, network with other brokers. You will get so much success out of that relationship and having that association.
same page. Great advice. The other
And
thing
work
is,
hard. I mean, it's a numbers game. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the numbers, and if you don't, you're not going to get anything out of that.
that is 100% true.
Yeah.
And then you have some of these like I'm not going to go in too far to AI. Are you leveraging that to assist you on from a sales perspective?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, but it's not going to make average salespeople better. It's only going to make you still have to have that
Yeah.
acumen.
I
However, it does
certainly use
help.
it as a tool. Why
It's a
wouldn't I
great
when
tool.
it's right at my fingertips? I do use it as a tool for a number of things, especially in the marketing side. But yeah, I use it only as a tool. How about that?
Yeah, well, yeah. people are just like, oh my God, no, you just do it this way and they'll tell you everything. And it's like, yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the challenge sometimes that I run into based on your personal personality, right? And you're very personable to
Right.
people, is it almost makes you like talk robotic.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Great.
I don't want
Well,
to,
you can
I'm not
tell when
going to,
you get an email if it's AI generated or not just by reading it.
it's
So,
so annoying when I sit
yeah.
there and write. I take the time to write like something like very personal and something comes back and it has like four M dashes in it. And you're just like,
Thank you. And delete.
I
Yeah.
see where you stacked up. Or sometimes based on the relationship I have with somebody, I'm like, get ChatGPT to get a job responding. However, if
Right.
you want to have a real conversation, let's pick up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a phone picker upper. I don't do a lot of emailing. I mean, I use email obviously, but I like to talk on the phone with my customers and my vendors and
That's good. I mean, I've kind of slacked off. I mean, I'm a millennial. So I don't like the whole texting. Texting is kind of like a last resort, in my opinion.
sure.
But like as far as like emailing and stuff like that to set up a call, I'm still I like
Yeah.
that.
I
Um,
actually use text a lot. So a lot of the people that in the industries that I finance to, they're not in the office. They're out on jobs. And so I actually use text more than email with those customers because they'll check it faster.
what is your like? Do you have a specific like, hey, do you got a minute? Is that or is because that's what you try to play around with, right? Because you don't want to overstep if someone's in a
Yeah.
personal
Okay, let me
situation.
rephrase this. I don't use that to cold call a vendor.
Fair, fair.
I only use that in my existing relationships. So no, if I'm cold calling, I'm pretty much using phone and email combined.
I cringe when I make an introduction and someone's like, "Hey, do you have their cell phone?" I'm like, "No, yes, but no.
But no, not yet. I might have it in a month. We'll see how it goes.
Get it yourself."
Yeah, right. Oh,
Carrie,
gosh.
so my next question I have for you is I ask everyone who comes on the program to give me a fun fact about themselves. So, outside of equipment finance, what do you enjoy doing?
Yeah. Well, like you, I love to golf. My
Uh,
husband and I golf all summer long, and we're very active on our golf course. But I think a lot of people know that I golf because I golf at most of the industry things. But um, the fun fact that a lot of people probably don't know about me is that I'm a church organist. And
oh,
yep, I
like
started playing.
how big? Like how many things does it have that you
Yeah,
have to?
pipe organ. We got a pipe organ. Yeah, where I am, it's pretty awesome. Yep.
Sweet.
And yeah, I started piano when I was young. I was 5, and I started playing organ at probably about 12, and I became a church organist at 13, and I've been playing ever since.
That's an incredible talent.
Yeah.
When I don't know, you say you're coming out here in January. I think in Mesa, there's a pizza place that has one of those old school organs.
Oh, really?
And
Oh,
it's like an
cool.
immersive experience because you have someone
Yeah.
that goes up there and they're playing, and then you have
Hmm.
this whole room full of this is what this button does, this is what this thing does, and this is where
Oh,
this
that's
foot
pretty
pedal goes.
cool.
So I
Yeah.
think it's called Organ Stop.
Organ
I'll
stuff.
find out and
Okay.
I'll send it to you. But
Yeah, send that to me. Interesting.
it's really neat,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think people appreciate that. That's a real it's a hard skill set. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
even play like my daughter's piano over here, let alone an
Yeah.
organ. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. I love music. That's kind of my side that gets me away from the job a little bit.
good, good.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I guess my final question I have for you, Carrie, is why should someone want to do business with Carrie Radloff and Synergy Financial Resources?
Uh, I think someone should do business with Synergy because they know that we will treat them right. We're going to work really hard, work with them. Or if it's a vendor situation, we're going to work really hard with every single customer and to try to help them with the financing that they need. Um, and we're going to do it well, and we're going to take good care of the customer. And treat them how we'd want to be treated.
What else can you ask for there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we got seven resources at the end of 2025. Curious, I mean, that's your first 12 months in business. I'm very curious to see
Yeah.
how the next 12 and 60 are going to go. But congratulations on your success to
Thank
date,
you.
on a great career, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you today, Carrie.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you having me on. I think we both love this industry, and it's been fun to talk to you.
Absolutely. And well, I'm guessing we'll be talking soon. So thank you very much for your time, Carrie. Have
Sounds
a good one.
good. Yeah. Thanks,
Take care.
Jesse.